Okay.
Hey, Buddy.
Hi.
Hey, Buddy. Welcome to the show again.
Hi.
I'm really looking forward. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this webinar session, not the podcast version of the supply chain management audits. So it is all yours. It is your screen. I'm gonna hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ari. I'm so honored to discuss with you and talk with you. It's a very nice moment for me. I would like to share about my activities. I share about my job and what I do in my work. I would like to share about the company itself. So Toyota in Indonesia have 166 outlets. Indonesia is archipelago, so many islands in Indonesia, and impact to our logistic operation itself. And you know that like Jakarta, 50% of our sales of Toyota happen in Jakarta. And Jakarta is very lot of customer in our Jakarta. And we also have 35 logistic centers. Since the supply chain, so many islands in Indonesia, we have so many logistic centers to distribute our vehicles to a lot of Indonesia, around to 20,000 until 25,000 vehicles we distribute every month to around Indonesia, and 50% sales is happen in Jakarta area. And then if we talk about the audit itself, actually the audit is about our vision, mission, and the values of the company, and how we compare with what kind of standard that we will build, like comply to company requirement, such as like Toyota standard, key performance indicator, and also company target. And also it comply to the government policy, like law and regulation the government. You know, sometimes we must deal with the local regulation of the governments. And also we compare about the certified of branches, so human resource certified, mechanical certified, something like that. And also it contain about the branch excellent operation, like customer satisfaction, repair, and maintenance. So all of them become a standard that we must find in our branches to make sure they do the SOP, and the operation as well is have a similarity, have comply to what kind of the guidance of from head office actually. And if we talk about the vision, mission, and values, we know the vision is in Toyota to be Indonesia dealer, the big, the true, the world-class process actually. That's why it compared to the mission itself, how to make people enjoy their mobility experience. So we want to make sure that our customer have the experience in mobility experience. And how we focusing about our value, focus on customer integrity, strive to excellence, and respect for other, and also teamwork. And I will talk about the audit itself. Audit definition is a systematic, independent process and documented for obtain audit evidence and evaluate it objectively for determine the extent to which the criteria audit fulfill. So we have a standard, like I said, comply to the company, comply to the government policy, branch excellent operation, and also the branch, the certified of the branches. This is become a standard that we want to compare actual condition, what happened operationally in our branches. So if you see about supply chain audit, we start from the factory. We have another company that produce a Toyota vehicle in Indonesia. Name of the company is Toyota Astra Motor. We're not talking about the production. So we receive the vehicles from factories. There are 3 factories in Indonesia, and also we receive CBU from Japan and also from Thailand. When we receive it, we have a national PDC, pre-delivery center for our branches. We have, like I said, around to 20,000 or 25,000 vehicles every month, and we receive our 3 PDC, pre-delivery center, our stockyard, national stockyard. And when we receive it, we have do a distribution to all around Indonesia. So we have moda by car carriers, by shipment, a single carrier, and also a self-drive. So, and we go to the regional PDC, our stockyard in our regional, like around Indonesia, and then send it to the branches and then send it to the customer. This is, if you see the production is start and going to physically logistic process and sales and after sales process. And also how we can receive the information from the branch, what kind of customer want, what kind of customer need, it become an integration information process that we receive. Like the color is very important, and the type of the vehicles, what kind of most popular one in our customer actually. So we integrated all process physically and also the information processing. So we have a strategy here. Like competitor, we have the started from employee happiness to our customer service score. It's very important, customer service score, because we know exactly what kind of needs of the customer and how they're satisfied to service that we provide for them. And then we're going to whole process of marketing, like goal based in town. How to make a attention to them and how they repurchase our vehicle, because in Indonesia, used car become 3 or 4 years in Indonesia, they change to be a new vehicle. So how we maintain for the next 3 or 4 years to make sure they want to do repurchase new car, yeah? And how we handle the used car that they want to sell to us. And the third one is about the recommendation, because it's marketing 4.0. It's better is somebody that sell the vehicle with like a word to somebody that they can trust. Sometimes our salesman become something that make customer feel you are a salesman. Of course, you must you said that everything about your product will be number one again. But it's much better if we have a recommendation from their family or somebody that trust, like a friend, something like that. It's more easier to sell the vehicle compared that we sell through our salesman. That's why our salesman not only sell the vehicle, but how to make friendship to the customer, so the customer give a recommendation to their friends. It's much better, the way of our sales, something like that. And we also have the delivery benefit, like a customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, etc. So based on that, we must make how have integration between our branches and the head office policy. And the strategy is the business is providing a memorable experience in owning vehicles actually.
I'm just curious how the Hansa Winky on the most left side, the employee happiness with the arrow pointing upward. There's a Kaizen culture, HRD, heart-touching experience, perfect SOP delivery to delight employees. Can you talk a little bit about the Kaizen culture, what that is, how exactly does the culture being engineered within the company?
Okay, actually, before in the beginning when we entered the Toyota, of course, Kaizen becomes something that shared by company, and actually it's not.
Perhaps can you help the audience to understand Kaizen a little bit? What is the definition of Kaizen? Because for you, maybe it's so related to you because it is a industrial production culture, but to the audience they may not know. Can you explain it a little bit?
Kaizen is how to make an improvement. It is about the culture actually, how to we improve to be better one. So is this something the philosophy of life in Toyota? How to we make it better? So better is might mean about something that we create, make an easier way, make it more value to the customer, not only for the customer, only for the employee itself. That's why Kaizen becomes something that not just about knowledge, like I said, but also about the philosophy, how we make it better and better, something like that. Like the employee happiness, we cannot 100% satisfy the employee. Like we cannot 100% satisfy the customer. This is the fact that we must face now. However, we try to make it better and better. Then the Kaizen itself, its impact to actually the quality of the person itself, how they find something. Because when you want to improve something, means you must know what kind of weakness or what kind of something that you need to improve. This is very important, because when you know it, you know how to improve it, what kind of problem that you want to solve, what kind of things that you want to increase, something like that. You must know about yourself first. Then from the employee happiness, we have a qualification for it. We have a standard for them. So like I said, we cannot fulfill 100% of the employee happiness, but however, we believe if we make it better and better, employee happiness will be happens because they understand we understand each other between the company and the employee. Because we believe if the employee happy about themselves, they will have encourage and they have a feeling to serve the customer. Because like I say, if you're talking about the technology, actually about the vehicles are not too different between one brand to other brands. What makes different is the services, how we serve the customer now. Because if you talk about the technology is something that to be catch up. If one brand do something about the technology, other brand could follow it, but cannot be copies about how you serve your customers. So this is the basic way of employee happiness actually. So and then going to the culture, is correct. Okay. This is what kind of audit we have actually. We're talking about legal compliance, waste document, operational fact finding, index survey, customer employee and services, and also facility equipment like infrastructure. So when we do the comply to company requirement criteria, there's 11 audits actually, like green company, and then branch of control, something like a lot of audit that we make. And then if you're talking about the government policy, allow in Indonesia the 33 permission or law regulation that must fulfill for our company. And then if you're talking about a certified brands, mean that certified of human resources skill, machine, facility, system, and safety, and the government control it. And then if we're talking about brands excellent operation, we're talking about also the budgeting and operational and impact to cost of repair and maintenance, also customer satisfaction. This is the audit that we do from we receive the vehicle until the vehicle delivered to the customer. We're talking about cash to cash, means when we receive a vehicle from the factory, means we must pay to the factory. So how fast the vehicle will be sales to the customer, we're talking about cash to cash process actually. And then if you're talking about the legal compliance, about audit result, we're talking about safety, and then how we serve it, our ethic, and also infrastructure. So we know which one that the good one, which one is we need to improve it. So when we do it, we know exactly what the problem that happened to our branches. I will give you a sample next about what a fact finding that we found in our branches, then how do we solve this problem actually. So now I'm talking about the logistic process in logistic center. So when we talking about case study that we found, like a Jakarta branches has a limitation of yard capacity. The price of in Jakarta is very expensive. So when our sales is increased, we have a problem to keep our vehicle in a yard of the branches. So Jakarta, when we want to extend our land, I think the price is too expensive to if you buy a land just only for keep the vehicles. So based on that, we built a new logistic center outside of Jakarta, okay? And we have delivery concepts, means that the vehicle that already sold to the customer, we call it day -6 operations, mean we will send the vehicle on to Jakarta branches only if the vehicle already purchased by the customer and ready to be handed over. If still a free car, we keep it outside of Jakarta, because when we build a building in outside Jakarta is much cheaper with compare we build the building in Jakarta. Our capacity in outside Jakarta stockyards is around 40,000 vehicles. We can keep the vehicle. So if you talk about the sales is about 20,000, we mean our capacity 2 times than our sales performance. If you see here, so we have 26 branches in Jakarta. We keep the vehicle in stockyard outside Jakarta, and then when the vehicle will be sent to the customer, day -6, the branches will ask to our national logistic to send the vehicle. And then when we receive the order from the branches, day -5, we do the confirmation and preparation. And the -4, we install any kind of accessories that asked by customer. And then the -3, we send to our relay point in Jakarta, and day -2, we send the vehicle to branches. So the car that stay in our branches in Jakarta only maximum 2 or 3 days in Jakarta branches, because one of our services, we not only sell the vehicle, but we also do a police registration process. Why day -6? Because we align to the police registration process. It takes 6 days in Jakarta. So when at the day, customer will receive the vehicle and also receive the police registration. So they can use the vehicle directly when they outside from our branches. That's we integrated between our vehicle process and also administration processing.
So around 20 days, the customer will receive their vehicle from after they buy it.
Yes. That's why when they do the payment, something like that, the branch will 2 kind of activities. First, ask to the logistics center to send the vehicle, and second one, they going to police registration process, day -6. So when the vehicle and the police registration already done and hand over to the customer.
Gotcha.
That's the case study that we found in the branches. And like, what another thing that we found is about our environmental issue, like Jakarta is sinking city, because soil subsidence 6 to 100 millimeter per year impact to Jakarta branches infrastructure actually. Because when you read from NASA mentioned that Jakarta will be sinking. Actually, some of branches have an impact of that because the sea level already rise, and it impact to our infrastructure. 2 or 3 branches, our branches, 2 branches is impact the infrastructure. So we must make a decision for it. We do the renovations or we scrap and build, because it impacts to the safety of the customer and safety to our employee itself. So like it mentioned that Jakarta is among other Delta cities that is exposed to risk and sea level rise and land subsidence. So yes, it impacts. That's why Indonesia now planning to move the capital to Kalimantan, because the history of Jakarta is actually not the city, the capital city. Actually, Jakarta is a port city or economic city. Actually, it's not for the capital. So now we know the situation, and the government moved to Kalimantan. But however, 50% of sales is happen still in Jakarta. That's why we must make strategy. What should we do about the buildings? And what kind of we found is like sometimes we do the routine facility maintenance to make sure readiness of plant to serve customer and employee happiness. the balance between cost and profit. What kind we found is like next to our branches about gas station, we check the gas station itself about the safety to make sure that something happen like fire, something like that. Our branches have the capability to serve us to have a safety from that kind of situation. And also the facility problem that we found, like you know, a lot of our employee now have a car, have a motorcycle. It's also impact to our infrastructure of our brand. So many employee now, maybe in our branch could be around 150 persons, compare about 5 years ago, only half of them, it makes to infrastructure problem. And the capacity itself in Jakarta area also more problem. We have limited of infrastructure and limited of land. It make a problem for us. And then, that's all. That's what I say.
It's very comprehensive. Actually, I just have some question, not in terms of the logistics. How do you do audit? Say like for the police registration process, because I'm based in Hong Kong, I'm born and raised in Hong Kong. I believe this process is something related to the Jakarta local department. Is this something like a transportation department in Jakarta?
Oh, it's under the police, local police. So when you buy a car, you must have a plat number and also a paper. Paper, a plat number, a police number, and a paper for that. So we take care of that. We do the administration to make sure that our customer, when receive a vehicle, they have a paper of the police registration, they have a plat number, the vehicle ready. So when they going out from our branches, or they have or they are ready, because the paper and the car is ready to hand over to the customer. So when they receive the vehicle, they have a plat number. I don't know when in Hong Kong it is similar.
It is something done by, I believe it's the transportation department under the government department, but it is not the police station. So that's the reason why I'm asking, because I believe it is some legal issue in Jakarta. But I'm just curious.
It is actually police registration is to have a plat number of the vehicles, and the paper, the ownerships, and also a paper of a police paper.
Gotcha. Yeah, your presentation is very comprehensive and some major question, because for some maybe little question that is too that is too small, and I'm not going to ask you this session because you are giving an overview for the audiences. So yeah, that's very great. Thank you so much, Budi, in presenting the end-to-end process for how you serve your customer and how the employees work at your company. And I believe it is a great company, because no one you wouldn't be working at here for 2 decades if you were not happy, right? So yeah, so
yes, I think maybe the EBIT philosophy itself, not only for Astra International also, but from Toyota, because I believe Toyota thinks that long term of the employee loyalty is very important for them, because it's easier if they have a happiness for that, they can serve the customer much better because they have happiness. Even I said we cannot guarantee 100% of that. However, we do trying the better one to make sure better and better, to make sure they have a loyalty to work in the company.
Yeah, I can tell you are very happily working over there. So thank you so much, Budi, and it is a very nice session, and I'm really looking forward to also in no time we are going to release the podcast version 2, because the audio version and the video version, I believe they are supplementary to each other. So they are great supplementary information for the supply chain professional who are looking into the audit side of the logistics.
Once again,
thank you again.
Thank you, Era.